Well, if one captain set up the game for Lucknow, the other captain is responding in kind and how. It's been a battle of the skippers at the Wankhede Stadium. KL Rahul setting it up beautifully for Lucknow, and with 77 of 51, taking them to 195 for three. Delhi are past halfway, or almost past halfway with Pant. 42 of just 22 deliveries. Came off the blocks absolutely firing. 94 for 4 in 10 overs. But the real talking point, which we'll start with on Cricbuzz Comm Box with Lisa Sthalekar, is Mitchell Marsh. He was going so well, as good as Rishabh Pant, if not better, and suddenly decided to walk away without even questioning the decision.
It just makes you wonder, doesn't it? He felt that he hit it, yet nothing showed up. So you could see the dugout, you could see Ricky Ponting in the Delhi camp was not impressed, was not happy. But I think as a player, we've realised that sometimes you don't know, but we also realised there was a sound, wasn't there, as well? We could all hear it in the stump mic, and nothing showed up. So it makes you question technology, doesn't it? And I thought he did the right thing, because there's no point wasting time and going through the review. If you know that you've hit it, get going.
Honestly, there was. I mean, just listening to it live, it did sound like he had hit something. There were two noises. There was no question of bat hitting pad because it was far away from it. So maybe it was Ultra Edge that just didn't spot it for some reason. That could be one explanation. But the other one that obviously got a bit of chatter going on in the commentary box with Haydos in there was like, Australians walk, really, other than Adam Gilchrist?
Yeah, they can't help themselves, can't they? KP can't help himself, should I say. And Matthew Hayden there, just too big an opportunity to have a little bit of a dig. I like the little banter that gets played every now in the comm box, because we know what it's like. You like to have that little byplay. It means if you're having fun, hopefully everyone else is having fun. But a couple of times we've seen this happen, and I wonder if certain boards will move down the track of bringing in hotspot as well. So bringing in another mode or another way of kind of going through to see if there was a mark, because there might have been a mark. It just didn't register on the Snicko, which is funny because you could hear a second noise.
Well, that's as far as that is concerned, looks like we might just have had another dropped catch if I'm looking at it from the corner of my eye, and it's captain dropping captain, a crucial one. KL Rahul drops a fairly simple one of Rishabh Pant, and that could be very, very expensive. After the fact that Marsh's wicket led to another, out went Lalit Yadav, and suddenly Lucknow were back in this. This is quite a game.
Yeah, it's a great game, given the fact that they lost to early wickets and then a 50-run partnership of 15 deliveries between Marsh and Pant just got things back on track in terms of runs per over. But then losing Marsh and then Lalit Yadav means that they've got Rovman Powell there, probably a little bit earlier than what they would have liked, but there's still enough firepower. I mean, if we were talking about the Gujarat side, we'd be saying, hold on to your hats, everyone. This is going down to the last over, last ball. That's what Delhi needs, and they need it now because they can't afford to lose this match.
And certainly on paper, they do have the firepower. They were talking about it, and we sort of haven't looked at it collectively, but Warner, Shaw, Powell, Marsh, and Pant, if that's your top five, the reason we maybe haven't talked about it, Lisa, so far is because maybe Pant hasn't been firing, Marsh certainly hasn't, and Powell's been coming lower down the order and just providing cameos.
Yeah, he started off poorly, didn't he? He really did struggle and was found out by spin. So then they tried to hide him for spinners, and then he was able to produce a couple of 30 odds. So let's hope they figured out the right time, but he's going to come up against some pretty decent spinners.
Yeah, what about the bowling for Lucknow? Because they've had even some of the bowlers who have been so dominant in the tournament have been taken for a few. Jason Holder had an expensive first over, sort of came back slightly. Chamira, 12 and a half. Krunal Pandya came on while he was captaining. KL was having a little bit of a sit down because of his leg, and he goes for 19 in the power play, which is unusual.
Yeah, you're looking at those figures and you're looking at the economy rates, except for Mohsin Khan, who's just on another planet. It just shows you that it's actually a decent pitch, isn't it? There's not a lot in it for the bowlers. I mean, 12.5, 19, 12, 8 kg just with the 5 and picking up that wicket of Mitch Marsh, a big one. But it's going to be hard going for the bowlers, and they've got to find ways of just jagging a wicket every time they build a partnership.
Having said that, if you're KL Rahul, having dropped the catch yourself, you'll take responsibility. You'd have to think that the man who's out there, good as he might be, does play a risky brand of cricket. So you've got to find a way to be able to even buy the Pant wicket.
Yeah, the great thing about someone like Rishabh Pant is that he does give opportunities or half chances. And you've got to be on your game to take it in the field. You've got to be willing to catch one that's been smoked out of the middle, but it's, at catchable height. They're the chances that he'll give you. And if they can do that, then it's almost game over. But whilst Rishabh Pant's there and the way that he's going at the moment, this one's going to be a close one.
Yes, it is. Let's not forget Powell at the other end. And let's also remind all of you of the fact that when the season started, Delhi had the worst possible beginning. And then the likes of Shardul Thakur and Akshar Patel were the ones who took them over the line. And they are still to come after this firepower. So you'd have to say Delhi remain favourites if they could keep wickets intact. But this match is not over, I think, till the last ball is bowled. We'll see you not at the end of the innings necessarily. It all depends where the match stands at 7:10, which is when we'll be back to talk about the next match that's coming up with the MS Dhoni captaincy issues and so much more.